Hello, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of the Code and Coffee Show, the show in which we discuss two of the most important things in every developer's life. So, coffee and code, right? It's that simple. Today, we are going to focus on a quite amazing JavaScript framework that yesterday just reached the version 1.0. I It's kind of an accident, but yeah, I'm really happy with it. And oh, I see that my camera decided to stop working, which is very nice. Okay, but I'm back. So like I said, a quick reached the version 1.0 like yesterday, and today we have the 3rd of May. And that's why today we will talk with Giorgio Boa about Quick. We will learn how to start, why it's so amazing, and when we should use it. And of course, we will talk about coffee. So first, Giorgio is a full stack developer and the front end ecosystem is his passion. He started to develop applications in 2006, and in 2012 he fell in love with JavaScript. He's also active in open source ecosystem. He loves to learn and studies new things. And if I remember right now, you are writing when it comes to open source this small package for Vue Storefront that will help to use Storefront UI with Quick, right?
Yeah. Hi, folks. I'm Giorgio. As you mentioned, I'm really active in open source. I did a lot of stuff during this month, year, and the last one was to implement the integration with the Vue Storefront UI. We are in the first step, so there is a basic implementation, but we will go on with all the components. And the rest of the year, I work actively with Quick. I create a few use cases, and in past, I create a few libraries. My first one was with an extension for VS Code. I create an extension to attach Jira, the ticketing application, with VS Code. So that was my first open source contribution.
Which was really useful because yeah, every time jumping to Jira and back isn't the best experience. Uh, but while we are I, I'm sure that while creating those amazing things, you drink a lot of coffee, right?
Yeah, I really love. I'm Italian, so I love coffee, and I love basically the espresso version of the coffee. There is no other version for me. No latte, no mocha, only espresso.
And just before we started, I even decided to check a bit of history about Italian hardware, I mean, coffee hardware. And what's interesting, espresso machine was invented in 1901. That's it. It's so old. Espresso machine was even invented before the mocha pot, which was invented 30 years later, which was really a surprise for me because I thought that mocha pot is a bit simpler uh, piece of hardware, and it was. But no, it turns out that the espresso machine was much older. And this, yeah, the espresso coffee culture in Italy is something really, really unique. Every time I talk with someone from Italy, I can hear that, yeah, you are just drinking this one espresso after another, and it's
Yeah, that's true. Pizza, pasta, coffee. These are the things that all the Italians like, I think.
and ice cream.
Yeah, ice cream as well. Yeah, we have a lot of great foods.
Oh, that's
But
true.
yeah, I'm a pizza. I personally love pizza and coffee.
I mean, I totally share this point of view. Connecting both of those, it's one of the best combos we can have. I mean, perfect pizza together with a perfect coffee. And it gives us a lot of energy to start coding, right?
Yeah.
And that's why, I mean, after, because running such a show requires some amounts of cash, but luckily I have a nice sponsor, Kinsta, that helps to run it. So the next 20 seconds are on them. And after this, we will start talking about Quick.
Kinsta's application hosting simplifies the work of modern web developers. With just a few steps to get your app up and running with performance backed by the fastest Google C2 machines, Kinsta has built a development platform designed to get your applications in front of users as quick as possible. Test Kinsta's application hosting for yourself at kinsta.com. The first $20 are on us.
So thank you, Kinsta, very much. So, okay, let's start with Quick. So first of all, let's start with the basic question. Is Quick really that quick?
Yeah, the name is really a sponsor for this framework because it's really instant. So it's a perfect name for marketing, I think. And with Quick, you can create an instant application because we will see in the next minutes why.
Okay, so if you would say, what are the key features of Quick? What makes it so different from the rest? What would it be?
Yeah, I think the killer feature of Quick is no JavaScript. So it's something strange. So you have an application, a front-end application, and the killer feature is to ship no JavaScript. This is I think, the most interesting thing. So the first render of the application is basically HTML and CSS, and then only if you interact with the page, the framework will execute the JavaScript needed. So in the first render, you have no JavaScript. That's the killer feature, I think.
Okay, so I mean, this is kind of something that I always try to do when I wrote, even in PHP, my application. So I always try to load only what is required just to run those JavaScripts needed. But with Quick, this is like out of the box. This is automatically. And by the way, this is kind of interesting that we see that the two very popular JavaScript frameworks are using this zero JavaScript as a feature. I mean, because both Quick and Astro are kind of using this, which is really, really interesting that we are still talking about JavaScript frameworks. So this is quite fascinating that we went to this point that we are selling JavaScript through not having JavaScript on the front end. But well, yeah, it happens. It really happens. And like I mentioned earlier, before for a moment my camera decided to stop working. Yesterday we got a Quick 1.0 released. What does it mean for the developers? That this was the 1.0 version something special, or was it just a signal that yes, we are stable, use us, and we are still continue to evolve as always?
Yeah, this is a great question. Basically, when you are in a 0 point something, you are able to you can change the APIs. Maybe from one version to another, you can simply rename some methods and stuff like that. With version 1, you set a marker. From now, we are in the framework ecosystem. You can use us, and we will try to doesn't create too much breaking change. Yeah, I think the version 1 means that.
Okay, yeah. So it's more not a revolution, just the sign that yes, we are stable. stay with us. Will do as much as possible not to break too much.
Yeah,
Because,
yeah,
yeah,
sure.
I mean, probably until the 2.0 version, because then.
Yeah, yeah. Usually in a major release, the core team or the frameworks they will change something for sure. Yeah, but
Okay. And tell me, when do you think that using Quick is the best option? Should we use it for, I don't know, simple websites, or maybe for more complicated applications? Where do you
yeah,
see Quick as a best solution?
yeah. I think Quick. You can use Quick for every application because the mental model of Quick allows you to have for a small application and for the bigger application, you have only 1 kilobyte of JavaScript in the first render. So it doesn't matter if your application is small or big, your performance is really the same. I think for public websites or application that needs to run in a low connectivity area, Quick it's really powerful, really amazing.
Mhm.
I think if you have a back office, maybe in an old application, you have an old application, back office application with some other framework. You don't have to create new features. Maybe I don't encourage you to refactor all that application for pass to Quick to refactor to Quick. But for new application, I think it's a good framework to embrace.
Mhm. So you are saying that that Quick is quite universal, because if we are comparing, because we already mentioned Astro, because Astro is like amazing for content websites. It's like Astro's thing, and Quick is like, if you want to use it, just use it, right? It will fit. And are there any use cases when you would never ever use Quick because it just wouldn't fit at all?
I think for now, the moment for the mobile, create something we need to investigate in the mobile area. So there
Mhm.
are some other framework that are really good in creating the mobile support. I need to investigate for the mobile devices. I think it will work pretty well also in mobile
Mhm.
because if we use the web view in the device, we can of course use Quick. But I didn't try right now, so
Yeah, the web view sometimes is a bit tricky, and it's always a bit more tricky to debug and everything. I mean, it was always kind of a hassle. So I can imagine that this is the. But still, it's really nice to hear that. I mean, yeah, right now mobile is like more than 50% of the market, so it's not a small thing. But like in general, that Quick doesn't have those. Like, very visible situations not to use it. So if you just want to give it a try, you can just go to the Quick website, download it, and start playing around with this.
yeah,
um
yeah. If I can add a few things,
mhm,
my
yeah.
my advice is not to for native application in a mobile. Of course, if you have a website, you can use your device to load the page and visit the website with Quick. My advice was only for native stuff. Yeah,
Exactly, because we just had this question about, sorry, what exactly do you mean by it's not best for mobile? Yeah,
yeah,
so
maybe.
for the mobile, when we talk about native, but not for mobile web pages, because it will work well normally.
Yeah, maybe Flutter, if we can
Mhm.
mention one framework, is better to create a native application because
Mhm.
it's well integrated with Android Studio and Xcode. So maybe it's better, maybe not. We need to try. We need to try.
Okay, so if someone who is watching us wants to give quick a trial with native applications, we will be happy listen to to your results because it might be really interesting. And tell me, because yeah, we reached 1.0, but probably new versions will start emerging soon. So what can developers suspect in the upcoming releases? What new can we see in the 1.1 of Quick?
Yeah, the core team didn't say too much about the new version and new features. I think the core team is going to support out of the box module federation, so micro front ends
Mhm.
for the application. Basically, the mental model of Quick is able to stream the application for the micro front ends architecture. So I
Mhm.
think the DX will be even better. Is It's really great the developer experience right now, but I think the core team can do even better. Um, and I think these are most the things that the core team will do, and then we will see, because the core team is really active, have great ideas every time, and we have a Discord server, and in the Discord server they ask for opinions and help. So
Mhm.
they have a lot of ideas. So who knows?
Who knows? Okay. So yeah, I think that we kind of scratched the surface when it comes to theory, and I think that now it's time to show a bit of code, right, Giorgio?
Yeah, yeah, sure.
Okay, so let me share your screen.
Yeah, great. Maybe it's better do like
Oh,
this. So uh,
could
basic.
you
Yeah.
zoom in the, or I mean, make the font a bit bigger because I'm sure that for some people it may be too
Yes.
small. Oh, thank you. Mhm.
Yeah. So basically, to run a new Quick application, you can run npm init quick at the latest, and then you have this beautiful CLI. And where would you like to create a new project with version one? We mentioned before we reached
It's
the
so nice. It's really so nice to see to having this episode today.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's great. So quick example. I think you need to yeah quick example, and then we have a few starter. So basic app, documentation site, and a component library if you want to create a reusable quick component library, of course. Let's start with a basic app. And if I would like to install the dependency, yes.
Of course.
Initialize a Git repository, yes. So we
This
install the
is
dependency. Yeah.
really something that I really enjoy when I look how modern frameworks are built right now when it comes to, as you mentioned, this developer experience. This is really not something that uh, frameworks can have. It's like a must have if you want to get popular, because without it, developers just will go somewhere else where it will be easier.
Yeah, now the level is really high. The bar is really high. So if you want to create a new framework or you want to be on the edge, you need to have these kind of things. So I remember a few years ago, manually configure Webpack was really a pain. So now it's like sugar on top with this CLI. Yeah,
But I don't know if you remember that the moment when we started switching to Webpack first we were using, for example, Bower or things like this,
yeah,
and the Webpack was the easy way to do so. So we
yeah, yeah.
really
I
went,
remember. I remember.
yeah.
I'm that old. I use Gulp. Browserify, all that tool, and with
Oh, yeah.
Webpack was such a great experience, but now it's amazing. Yeah.
True.
So now we create a basic application, but we have also the possibility to add integration. So we can move ourselves to the folder. So was quick example. Yes. And I can run npm run quick add. And now I have a list of integration out of the box. They are in the core of Quick. So we are able to create an edge configuration for deploy the application on cloud. So we have Cloudflare, Azure, Netlify, Vercel, and Express, Dino, Fastify, a lot of way to deploy this quick application. And we have also Storybook and, for example, Tailwind, Partytown, Vitest. So I personally like Tailwind, so let's try with the Tailwind. Okay, so as you can see here, we are saying, okay, I will add Tailwind for you, and I will modify this, and I create this file here, and I install this dependency. If for you it's okay, let's go on. Okay, and this is cool. So you have something really out of the box.
True. And really, there are a lot of options just when you show the list.
Yeah, a lot of option. Yeah. So this is a quick application. So it's quick. It's file-based routing. So like other server-side rendering framework. And we have the roots folder, and inside of roots folder we have this index folder, and then we have layout. Layout is the wrapper for our application, so we can put the header and the footer inside of the layouts, and then we can simply define the other root, and then layout will wrap the root itself. Okay, so we can have multiple layouts in various level, various folder, but this is not the killer feature of Quick. So if we go in the index, we have this hero. Maybe we can start the application. So
course.
run dev. Okay, under the hood, we are using Vite, the web server Vite, and the core team is responsible for the rendering part. So the application is with a component and JSX, like React. They decided to use JSX because it's the most popular. So they decided to use it because we have a lot of tooling around JSX. And that's the reason behind these choices. Okay,
Which is a really wise decision. I mean, that's true. There is a lot of
decision to create our own template system or use JSX.
Yeah, the choice was simple. Let's be honest.
Yeah. And okay, and then we have also the plugin on top of Vite. So the core team is responsible for the rendering part, but also for the building part. With the other framework, they have only the rendering part, and the building part is from Webpack, Vite. With this approach, we are put our code inside of the rendering, but also inside of the building, because in the building we are doing a lot of great things, and then we will see. Okay, if we start the application here, this is a great starter. So we can have a documentation, we can have a few steps to follow, and we have, of course,
A counter.
simple counter, like every Hello World app. Okay, so basically, if we run, this is the dev mode, but if we run the build, so npm run the build for the production, and this is you can see here the magic of Quick, because
There's a lot of JS files, as we can see.
yeah,
And
a
they're
lot
all
of,
very small.
yeah, this is the killer feature, one of the killer features, because the other framework bundle all the application into one big JavaScript. With Quick, we have also the code in the backend side that is going to create a lot of chunks for our application, a lot of JavaScript. And this is really completely different from the other framework. By the way, we are running Rust code base, Rust code to traversing all the components and understand how to create the chunks. Okay, so we can simply remove all the things inside of the root component, and let's create a simple one. So we can have a div. We can create a button. Okay, click me, and then we can create a counter. Okay, for the state manager, for save and use the state, we have signals, the famous signal that are so popular on Twitter. So use signal, we have this API, and this API accept primitive. So use signal, we can, okay, counter signal. Counter.
Oh yeah.
Okay. We create a counter signal, and then we have signal.value. And then we have on click, like many other framework, with this specific dollar. This dollar is something magic because it's a marker for the building code base to say, okay, all the stuff that is inside of this dollar is a closure. So you can grab this part and create a specific chunk, as you can see here.
Okay, I get it. So this will be the code that the moment when we click it, it will run. It will be downloaded and everything. The thing that you mentioned, that it's so modular.
Yeah. Okay, so we are creating a on click, and then we can try to, maybe we can do an external handler. It's better to the example on click handle. Let's do like this. Here we need to wrap the function with the dollar to say, okay, this is a closure that you can extract on click handle. Okay, and then if we build the application, okay, counter, okay, these are the files that we remove. Yeah, the building process is really peachy. So okay, so now we can see that here we have a QManifest.json. We go here, we have a lot of a map, basically, with a lot of chunks. So if we look for this on click handle, we will find on click handle, let me say, this is the index. Okay, let me find in the folder. Okay, this is
Oh,
conflict
yes,
handle.
we have it.
We have it, and we have in the roots index.tsx. And basically here, the build process map all the chunks and so on and so forth. So if we run the production, so npm run npm run, what is the name?
Built.
No, is start.
Oh,
Start. Okay, this is my application because I remove all the things.
mhm.
Yes. So let's go to the network and let's check the JavaScript. Maybe I can zoom a little bit.
Mhm.
Okay. So now if I refresh, as you can see, we have Vite client and we have on document event, and this is a Vite client as well. But yeah, but the production build is that the start is the preview. Sorry for that. Yeah. So if we go to the network, refresh, we have only
Yes.
this chunk here. Maybe if we look here, we have some event listener for the starter.
Mhm.
Have something to that needs this event listener is not completely white, let me say.
But
So
still,
now,
it's not our counter. It's not loaded yet.
no, there is something in the starter. Let me check. Yeah, there's some events that is triggering this. Maybe in the layouts, use style, maybe this one. Okay, let's remove this folder. Okay, let's preview again. Let's see. Okay, what's wrong? The footer.
Yeah,
Okay.
because
Yeah. We have a lot of.
and there is on the line 12. On the line 12, which
Yeah,
is easy.
Thanks. Because if we don't have any kind of JavaScript, this is the styling. Okay, it's really hard to remove all the stuff. Yeah. If we have some JavaScript, the framework will execute it. Yeah, maybe there is something that I can understand right now what's happened, but the main
It's
point
probably
is
something with the history, so probably
yeah,
somewhere coded, but it doesn't
maybe
matter right now.
this one.
Oh, probably, yeah, because it's like I said, I saw that there is something with history, so probably something when you will click on link.
Yeah, maybe we can try to remove them. The header. Okay, where is the header? Here. Okay. Okay, again.
And the logo.
Well,
Yeah,
really
it's very
long.
strict. It's very strict. It's very strict.
No, we can't remove this, but anyway, this is not the point. The point is when you click, is going to download and execute the JavaScript that is needed. This is the point.
Exactly, and this is something really amazing, because I mean, in most of the cases when we have our big website that has a lot of JavaScript loaded, most of it isn't even used once, because it should be just executed like here. The moment when we click it, when we start having some interaction with it, and this is like the great example of how to do this.
So if we have a big application, only if we interact with the page, we will download the JavaScript needed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we can reach, of course, the amount of JavaScript that every other framework execute if we interact with all the page. But basically, in the first render, we have only 1 kilobyte of JavaScript,
Mm-hmm.
and if we interact with the page, we don't have to download the JavaScript, the chunks, because there is a service worker that for us is going to download all the chunks. So basically, if we go here, maybe we can open a incognito window. Oh, maybe it's better to open another one. So if I open an incognito window and I put the network to all, you can see that is going to download these chunks.
Mm-hmm.
But the initiator, let me add the initiator, is the service worker. So the service worker is downloading this chunk and are there. So as soon as the user will ask for this JavaScript, the JavaScript are there. There is no need to download again the JavaScript because are in the service worker.
And here we have one question, and this is a really interesting one. Let me just add it to screen. Since it's coming from a service worker which has already downloaded the JS chunk, is it accurate to say that the JS is downloaded on interaction?
Now, is executing, yeah, this is a big question. This is a great question. Is executed on interaction, but is downloaded as soon as possible.
Yeah, I mean, with service workers, very often waiting for the moment when we have the idle time. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, this is because to be honest, this was almost the same question I planned to ask. So thank you for being so in short. First, we download everything that the website requires. Then we have the service worker. Service worker in the background downloads everything what is needed.
Yeah.
And the moment when we click on something, it's executed.
Parsing and executing. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and parsing, yeah, because it also, so in short, it really saves us a lot of CPU power.
Yeah,
mostly.
we save the main thread that we know that the browser is a single thread, so we are saving that thread to be blocked by the JavaScript.
I get it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So this is, but when it comes to downloading, it still downloads kind of all of the JavaScript in general.
Is downloading the chunks needed for this particular page. Yeah.
Okay, I understand. So so the service worker also checks which site, which page requires which chunks, and only requires the needed one, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So now I think I fully understand. But still, it's a huge save of everything.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
And CPU and thread. Yeah, if we have a component out of the visible viewport,
Mhm.
the chunk is not loaded. So maybe we can go into the Quick Builder IO website.
Mhm.
We can try to, yeah. As you can see here, Quick is putting some extra elements, right? Container, render, and then for the buttons, we have also, maybe this is on click. We have some on click stuff. So it's going to try to understand if the user click, which kind of chunks I need to download, track all these things. Yeah,
Okay, I understand.
that's
Yeah,
some. Yeah,
so it only downloads everything that is in the viewport, or has to be like used always, because there are some scripts that have to be used always, but the rest is handled just by the. I get it.
yeah.
Okay.
Let's try. If I remember well, if we go here, as you can see, if we click, more JavaScript will be
Yes.
executed. Yeah, that's a cool way to serve application. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, this is really great, and I must say that I'm really happy in general that the modern frameworks are doing as much as possible in terms of saving every kilobyte, of saving every CPU power
Yeah, yeah,
unit.
sure. Yeah, yeah. If you see, if I refresh here, a lot of chunks will
Mhm.
be downloaded, and if I scroll, boom, some other pops up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's because only when it's visible, yeah, it executes. Sorry, the JavaScript.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, great.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. So this is really an amazing feature. So everyone who is building really heavy JS websites, uh, give Quick a try for sure, because it will make our lives easier. I mean, for everyone, both for users and for US developers.
Yeah,
Okay, and
yeah.
mhm.
Yesterday in a version one live stream, a guy explained their needs. So create a website, and in a low connectivity area, is was able to create a website that was responsive in a few milliseconds, and many other websites takes 2 seconds. So all the audience for that specific event, he present some product. All the audience in that specific meeting event was surprised about the instant application he built.
Oh yes, I can really imagine that in such local connectivity areas, Quick might perform just amazing. Because yeah, it's all about just getting what we need and not anything more, and having it divided into those small chunks. Yeah, yeah, I really see it. I mean, every time when I go to the countryside in Poland, I'm so mad at most of the developers.
Yeah, this is a great feature about the documentation of Quick. So if I ask for use signal, for example,
Mhm,
ask to Quick AI,
mhm.
so it's going to use some AI to give you an answer. So this is really, really amazing.
Nice,
So you
nice.
can, of course,
I don't have to go to the Discord community and ask stupid questions. I can just bother the AI with this.
yeah, yeah, sure, sure. You can obviously go through the
Mhm.
old pages, but you can ask to the AI. Yeah.
This is really cool. Yeah, I mean, this is again one of those useful things we can have with an AI helpers. I really like it.
What what is dollar sign? Let's ask to the AI. In Quick, the dollar sign is using to signal both the optimizer and the developer when the transformation occur. Yeah, this is amazing. Let's rate the answer. Yeah.
Yeah, I
So this
mean,
is amazing. I think we all the other framework will take inspiration from this, because it's honestly so brilliant.
That is true. And when you showed the application at first, you mentioned about the routing. Is there something interesting about the routing when it comes to Quick, or is it just let's call it plain old file-based routing and it just works?
It's similar to the other framework. You can have
Mhm.
also a specific route to grab all the query parameters and stuff like that, but you
Mhm.
have also the possibility to define a folder with a round bracket
Mhm.
or component. And this is a group, it's not a root, subroot, is only a
Mhm.
group of file. So you can create multiple file inits, but the routing is not affected by this folder. It's something special.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I get it. I think I get it. Yeah. Okay, and here I see that in Roots you have the index, so it's the main page, and if we would
Yeah,
create
this is
an
the main
about
page.
we
Yeah, we have also the possibility to create meta, specific meta and title for the page,
Mhm.
of course, because Quick is really performant for the SEO optimization. And of course, we have the API for the title and the meta. And we have layouts for the main route, but we can put layout also inside other routes. So if we have docs, for the example, we can have a
Mhm.
layout inside of another layout, and we can have multiple layout if we want.
Mhm.
And
I
I think
understand.
great feature.
Yeah, it I mean it makes keeping everything in one place, not repeating ourselves, and yes, and what else do you think that everyone when starting with Quick should see?
Yeah, I think another great feature is the server dollar. We can have
Okay.
we can have demo. So if we server dollar, need to import it, and maybe we can put the console.log here.
The professional debugging console
Yeah,
log is always the best solution, let's be honest.
yeah. So and let's see. Okay.
Mhm.
So now I run again the preview. We can go here. Let me run this one, never used. Okay. And this one, counter signal, never used. Okay. You are right. Use a signal as well. Okay. So now if I click here, you can see a bunch of JavaScript, but the console log is inside of the server. So we are
Mhm.
able to connect the client and the
Okay.
server. Of course, we are using HTTP request. So here you can see that we are calling queue function.
Mhm.
This function is basically, I can clear here, okay, queue function, and this function basically is this one. So we are able to execute and return also a code from the server. So if we have a third-party library with a secret API token, we can um, create something like this to
Mhm.
preserve our secrets.
Okay. Yeah, because as you mentioned that at first that Quick is amazing with working both with client side and server side. So yeah, this is and what is really amazing with this kind of simple example, but yeah, it's
Yeah, I know it's mind blowing, But
yeah, it's that
usually,
simple that you are working with the front end and the client side, like just with adding server, and
yeah,
you can
so,
switch the context.
someone complains about that you are putting the backend logic inside of a front-end component. You can easily grab this and move this function to another file and use this server in a specific file that is reserved, let me say, to the server side logic. It's not you can do
But
it. You can do it.
but let's be honest, putting a backend logic inside of a front end, I mean, we are doing this for years in, for example, PHP and in almost every other language. So
Yeah, I know, but someone complains about, okay, the front end need to have only the rendering
the
part.
separation and everything, yeah, I get it. Yeah.
And we can do it for these kind of things, and I think
Oh,
really,
and we have a question from Fabio here, because first of all, Fabio started with that's amazing, which is really great. But he also has a question. And can you update the DOM from that function? For example, updating a signal.
yeah, you can return information from the server. Yeah, you can do it.
And how? Could you
Yeah,
show us?
basically I can open this storefront quick starter. I create, and I can run it to show to the audience this application that is open source. This application is open source. You can find the link here, and you have all the code. Okay, and basically all the APIs that are the client call is on the server, are on the server. So there is no call from the client to the GraphQL server. Under the hood, there is a GraphQL server, but all the calls are with the function, Q function, as you can see here. So we are returning the information in the payload here. So as you can see here, we have a lot of information, and basically from the front end, there is no evidence of any API key or stuff like that. So if we look into the code base server dollar, as you can see, this is the main point. So execute on the server. So here, if we call the execute, if is browser, please execute the API on the server. If is a server, execute the request and stop. So if we execute the server and we wrap the execute request into the server function, okay, then we grab the response and we return the response data. So if we look for this execute, okay, for the requester, this one, requester, okay, there's a
lot of requesters.
Yeah, GraphQL stuff. Okay, as you can see, then we can return. So the login and logout, return the value from the requester, and the requester is a wrapper on the execute, and here is the logic to execute the stuff on the server and on the client. So basically, execute on the server or execute and stop. So this is a working application. So if you clone the repo, you can run immediately the application with npm run dev, and is using a read-only server, GraphQL server. So if we go into the environment are into the GitHub, of course, because so you can use straight away the application. This is the read-only demo that we can go this one. The H is missing. Okay, this is a GraphQL on the public GraphQL. So basically, you can play with this application in your local machine.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I can tell you that we have one more interesting question,
Okay.
which is really great. That how do you share state between multiple components?
Yeah, great. This is a great question. And you have used context like many other framework. So we have used context, an API from Bidrio/Quick that is able to share the context with multiple components. So you can create with use context ID here in the here in the roots. We have the layouts, and then let me investigate a little bit. Use context provider, use the context, and upstate create context. So you basically create an ID, a unique name, and then you can use context provider. You pass a state. Here we have a big state for the whole application. So the customer, the active order, the collection, and stuff like that. So this is the init of this context. And then with use context, we are able to use this upstate, and we are able also to modify it. So we can read and modify the global state. So the DX is really amazing. The only thing you have to do is to add the dollar sign, but the performance are really amazing. So I think you can spend a few seconds to add a dollar for that.
Yes, I think that this answers this question. So uh, I must say that when you are showing those things, it's kind of it is kind of magical. It just
Yeah,
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 this is the word. I mean, sometimes I am a bit afraid of magic in development because you never know when this magic will kind of bite you, especially in the moment when something will stop working. But on the other hand, when I see how simple it is, I mean, I really feel the need to dive a bit deeper inside of Quake because it really looks like I said amazing and really powerful and simple.
yeah, yeah.
So
I think this application is really a showcase for all the APIs. And yesterday, I merged a PR from a guy from the community to add internationalization
mhm.
EN to the website. So basically, if we pass lang ES, we have the Spanish language. But if we leave the default, we have the English one. Yeah, it's it's another feature that you can grab and use in your own project.
Oh yeah, and because most servers are ignoring the hash, so you have to use just the query variables. I mean, like in PHP, I just feel like in PHP. So, which from I know that many people don't like PHP, but if I tell that something is similar to PHP, it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So please use this application. If you have any feedback, I am really happy to help you and improve the project.
Okay, so guys, do you have any more questions? Because you already asked many very interesting ones. So if you have any more, feel free. You have last minutes to do so. Yeah, but Giorgio, I must say that this was really, really amazing. I really think that it's really great to see in which way those modern frameworks are going, because we can see that the huge focus on the developer experience, on how easily it is to start. Uh, the only thing that a bit worries me is the part that I mentioned about this magic, because it's so simple, but something has to happen underneath. But and yeah, Quick is quite young, so we'll see how it will change over the years, because we all remember that Angular, the first Angular, was seen as something that will change the world, and we know what happened later.
Yeah, the creator is the same, so I hope that will change the word. Yeah, and
Oh,
I
and
now I
I,
saw in the chat Fabio. I want to say
yes,
hi to
and
Fabio. That is my friend. Yeah.
so hi Fabio, and we have one more here. That what makes it so difficult for other frameworks to uh,
Okay.
steal the reusability
I think to
feature?
reach this
Yeah,
feature, to
yeah,
have this
probably.
feature out of the box.
Yeah.
Basically, the code itself. I not an expert of all the codes of all the framework. I know, but the other framework are mm, the algorithm under the hood are different. So Quick was born with this idea in mind, with the resumability idea, and the other framework are totally different. So, for example, React now have server component, but is different approach, totally different approach. And I think they, mm, I don't want to spend bad words for the other framework, but I think the code base under the hood is different only for that.
Hmm. Yeah, but I agree. I think it's all about the idea, and especially that when we think about that many of those frameworks are very young. Every each was created with a totally different idea behind it. And again, let me use the Astro comparison. Astro had this idea of island architecture, partial hydration, and so on and so on. And this was also something unique. Quick decided they will go with their totally different idea, and that's really amazing. And it's also great to see how uh, over the years we'll see how uh, some frameworks will start to, let's call it, borrow ideas one from each other, and in the end it will be the best for us as developers, but because we won't have to worry about the fact that, yeah, I have to use Astro because they have something, or I have to use Quick because they have something, but I'm not a huge fan, I would prefer to use something else. But probably over the next 2 or 3 years we will see that many of those ideas will start to migrate between each other, um, and this is great. This is great, and also I think that it will be also great for the users, because they will have access to faster websites, and there will be no more excuse that, yeah, the developers used something. No, it won't be an excuse anymore. They will have access to really quick frameworks that will enable them to build blazing fast websites. And
Yeah,
so,
basically is the open source way to do the thing. So I create something, I put my ideas in an open source project. You can give me a feedback or grab the idea and improve it. So this is more or less the open source. Yeah.
yeah, this is true. This is something I personally also love behind open source. The fact that we just share our ideas, and sometimes we have a great idea, but we aren't that good in creating something based on it. And there will be amazing developers who will be better in translating our idea into something, and they will do it for us. And either they will contribute to our project, or they will fork it and create something new. Who knows? But in general, someone will have access to great technology, and this is great.
I think only one thing that we need to mention if we grab some idea, or we can,
Always.
if we need to use code from other code base, we need to mention the author. We need to talk with the community that is behind that code, because the open source live with this idea in mind. Don't steal, but use and mention.
Exactly. Yes, I totally agree with you. And also, um, I mean, first of all, the license, in theory, forces us to do so. But on the other hand, I mean, it's nothing bad that we got inspiration from someone's idea. That's cool. It's how it works. It's this hive's brain that we have, all the cells connected. And but yeah, it's not a shame saying that. Yeah, for example, I built something. The idea was 100% Giorgio's, and that's cool because he's an amazing guy. So why should I be ashamed of saying that I got the idea from Giorgio? I really don't understand why some people have this problem. I mean, really, it's all about sharing both ideas and but also recognition. And when we, for a moment, when we jump to this great AI assistant, which was really cool, I kind of am afraid of AI at this with this that AI will kind of break this sharing thing, because AI loves to give us answers, but it doesn't like to share from where this answer was created, who died, who created this. Oh, and I see a very important question here: are we hydrated? I mean, I'm partially, and I'm not hydrated. I mean, I am hydrated, but yeah, that's it. So, Giorgio, I think that we really touch a lot of subject when it comes to starting the adventure with Quick. I think that uh, this is a great way to end this episode, but it's also a great moment to start thinking about what else can we think and show in some future episodes, because based on how many people asked questions and how deep they were, I think that this is an interesting topic, and we will have to go back to this time maybe something more advanced. We will discuss something, and we'll try to figure something
Yeah,
something out.
sure.
So, Giorgio, once again, I want to thank you so much for spending your time. It was a pleasure having you here. Thanks for explaining everything, and also big thanks to everyone who was watching us and asking questions. It was really great to spend this hour with all of you. So I wish you all a great day, and thank you so much. Bye,
Yeah.
everyone.
Thanks for having me. Have a nice day for everyone. Bye.
Bye.